Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a client tutorial on my little sister. It's one of my most popular requested looks. It is the orange and copper glitter. So let's get straight into it. So the first thing I'm doing is her brows. So I'm just going to brush through her brows with a spoolie brush. Then taking the Anastasia dip brow in caramel, I'm just going to outline her brows. I did her brows exactly the same way as I would do mine. So if you want to go check out that video of my brow tutorial, I'll leave that in the description box as well. So just make sure that at the tail of the brow, it's the darkest and most full. And then at the front, you just feather it through, brushing the brush upwards with no excess product. Once I've filled in the brows, I like to go back in with the spoolie. It just gets all the excess product out of the brow. Then I take my concealer and I use a lighter concealer underneath the brow and a darker concealer on top of the brow. It just helps to blend when you do the foundation. For a base for the eyeshadow, I'm just going to take the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair, and I'm going to blend that with my Zoeva concealer brush. Having a base for the eyeshadows really helps to make the eyeshadow more vibrant, and it also makes it blend a lot easier. So then when I've done the concealer, I just take a matte bone white shade and I like to set the base so that all the eyeshadows blend seamlessly into the crease. For this, I'm using the MAC Studio Fix powder in NC10. The first shade I'm going to be using is Classic from the Tarte Tartiest palette, and I also mixed Innocent into it. Using a MAC 224, I blend that into the crease. Now taking Innocent on its own just to deepen it up a little bit more and also create a transition for a darker color. Then taking the shade Whimsy from the palette, I'm just going to use that to create the orange tone brown in the crease. I really wanted this look to be very, very orange, so you'll see I add an actual orange color after this one. Now with this look, there is a lot of fallout, so I do like to keep cleaning up under the eyes of the client. Then taking the shades Early Bird and Mororcco from Makeup Geek, and I'm just going to blend that into the crease just to give warmth, and I wanted it a lot more orange than what it was, so that's what I did. Then also taking Poppy from Makeup Geek, I took that into the crease as well. This is more of a salmon kind of color, but it worked really, really well for this look. Then going back in with the shade Morocco, I'm just going to take this and put it on the outer corner. I'm also using a MAC 217 brush, and I just like to add this to the outer corner before I add the darker colors. It just makes it easy to blend, to be honest. Then taking the shade Edgy from the Tarte palette, I'm just going to blend that further into the outer corner. Honestly, this look is all about starting light to dark, so I add so many colors to darken it up. And also this color is really good to blend out a little bit further, so by the time you put the darker color on, it looks really seamless. Then taking the color Smoked, which is a very dark brown, I also pat that into the crease. As you can see, I pat before I blend. It just packs on the color a lot better. On most clients, I actually don't add black. The color Smoked is actually dark enough, but if you wanted to add black, you could add black also. Once all the shadows are blended, I take my Too Faced glitter glue and I pack that on with a synthetic brush. So I put this on the inner third of the eye first, and then I just blend the rest to the outer third. Glitter I'll be using today is the Violet Voss Copperella glitter. This is literally one of my favorite glitters ever. Every time I go out clubbing or anything, I always wear this glitter, and oh my god, if you do not have this copper glitter, you need it. I am obsessed. Then, of course, going back in and cleaning up all the fallout from the glitter, because that's why we love glitter, fallout. Then I'm taking my It's All About Makeup cake liner in black, and I'm just putting that on the lash line only and not doing a wing. Even if my clients don't want a wing, I'll still do liner on their lash line just so when I put the lashes on, it blends and it looks all neat and clean. The primer I'll be using is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer, and it was stuck and it squirted everywhere, as you'll see in a minute. Me and my sister could not stop laughing, so I had to add it in the video. I didn't use the lid, so it got stuck, and when I tried to squirt it, it literally went everywhere. But anyway, this primer is literally amazing. I am obsessed with it. It's really, really good if you have oily skin, and it keeps your makeup on, so I definitely recommend if you have oily skin. I do like to keep the mattifying primer just around the nose, and then I go in with the Loreal Lumi primer everywhere else. It just creates like a glowy skin. If you're very oily, I wouldn't do this, but if you're only oily in the T-zone, I definitely recommend this primer because even I use it and I love it. For foundation, I used my personal one on my sister, which is the Marc Jacobs Remarcable foundation, and I think it was the shade 46 or 54. I could be wrong, sorry, I don't remember. But this is a really, really good foundation for coverage, and it worked really well with my sister's fake tan. As always, I just blend this in with a damp beauty blender. This is literally my favorite way of applying a foundation. I do not do any other way unless I'm using a stick foundation. I'll blend it in with a foundation brush and then I'll go over it with a beauty blender anyway. I'm then taking the same concealer as before. This is also my personal one, so of course I'm just going to use it on my sister. This is the shade Fair, and I just dot that under the eyes, on the nose, forehead and chin, and then I blend that out with a damp beauty blender also. To set the concealer, I take the RCMA powder, and I didn't have anywhere to put it, so I had to put it in my hand. This powder is really annoying to use because it doesn't have a very good container, but I just use it on myself anyway, so I just put it in my hand for my sister. Usually on clients now, I use the Coty Airspun, and that comes with a lid, so I just pop the powder in the lid, and it's so much easier to use, and I love it. Then I'm just setting the rest of the face with the Australis Fresh and Flawless powder in medium tan, and I just set the rest of the face and keep the bake there for a little bit longer. Then while the bake is still on, I'll use that to catch all the fallout. I'll take the shade Early Bird again and blend that into the lower lash line. Then to deepen up the lower lash line, I'm going to take Mororcco on a small brush, and I'm going to pack that on the inner and outer corner and then blend it into the middle. Then taking the shade Coco from the Huda Beauty palette, and I mix it with the black from that palette, which you could have just used the Tarte palette. I don't know why I didn't. I just deepen up the lower lash line and make sure it's really dark and smoky. Then just going back in with the first color just to make sure everything is blended seamlessly. Then taking a tapered brush and blending away all of that bake. Taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit, I'm just taking the bronze shade and bronzing up my sister's cheeks. I also do this on the forehead, and I also like to take it on a duo fiber brush because I feel like it blends it out nicely. And don't forget that jawline, girl. When I bronze, I also like to take it on the nose so the nose doesn't look so washed out and white. And for contouring, I took the same palette. I just took the more cool tone shade and I chiseled out her cheekbones. I always add a little bit of contour to the nose to slim it down and also add some color. And sometimes I'm a little messy with contouring and bronzing, so I just take the same translucent powder I used before and I bake under the contour. I don't leave the bake on for long though. I pretty much brush it straight off so you don't get any harsh lines. For blush, I used MAC Melba. It's literally my favorite blush ever. It's a warm peachy tone and it suits any skin tone ever. For highlight today, I'm taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills in So Hollywood, and I sprayed my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus first to make it really, really intense. And don't forget to add highlight to the Cupid's bow and tip of the nose. I have no idea why I showed this again, but I'm going back under the brow bone with the same highlight and also in the inner corners of the eyes. Now, just to add a little bit more drama to the look, I'm going to take the Maybelline Black Gel Liner to the waterline. So because Tyler is my sister, I just used my favorite mascara on her, which is the Million Lashes by Loreal, the feline one. I don't know what it's called, but it's my favorite, so I just use that on her. And for lips, I used this MAC one, which I do not know how to pronounce it, so I'll put it in the description. And I also mix that with the Truffle by Joseph Colors. These are both liquid lipsticks, so they do last a really long time. After I've done the lips, I just like to go in with a setting spray. So I use the MAC one first, and then I use the Urban Decay one, and then we are done. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a really long time. I haven't had internet since I moved into a new place. But if you'd like to see more of these, let me know. Bye!